In a picturesque coastal village nestled between the sapphire expanse of the ocean and emerald cliffs stood a modest house painted in the warm hues of sunshine. Here lived a man named Raza, whose life was as vast and deep as the sea itself. He was a fisherman, a title that spoke not just of his profession, but of his very being. For Raza, the rhythm of the waves was the music of his soul. Every dawn, he would rise with the sun. His weathered face creased in a smile as he watched the sky turn from indigo to rose gold. Beside him would be Layla, his wife, her eyes as bright and clear as the morning sky. They shared a bond as strong as the anchor that kept Raza's boat steady in the stormiest of seas. Their love story wasn't a tale of epic romance, but a quiet ballad of shared dreams, hopes, and the daily joys of living by the sea. Then there was Sami, their young son, whose laughter echoed in the house like the tinkling of seashells. Lil Sami, with his curious eyes and infectious wit, was the anchor that kept Raz's heart from drifting too far into the boundless ocean. One day, as the salty wind whipped through the fishing village, carrying with it the scent of adventure and the promise of a bountiful catch, Raza decided to take his boat out to sea. He was going fishing, an activity that was more than just work for him. It was communion with the sea, a dance as old as time. He kissed Layla goodbye and ruffled Sammy's hair, promising to bring home a tale or two for his little one. Layla watched him go, her heart always heavy when her husband ventured too far into the sea. But she knew Raza. The sea was in his blood, in the calluses of his hands, in the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled, and most importantly, in his heart. Meanwhile, on the vast expanse of the sea, Raza cast his net, feeling the familiar tug of the fishing line as the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting its golden gaze upon the shimmering waves. The tranquility of the sea lulled Raza into a sense of security. But the sea, like a fickle lover, can turn from passionate embrace to a furious battle in the blink of an eye. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, and the playful breeze turned into a menacing growl. The sea, moments ago a placid expanse, now churned and foamed, sending towering waves crashing onto his small boat. The storm caught him off guard, tearing his nets and threatening to swallow his boat whole. In a desperate attempt to salvage something from the wreckage, Raza untied the nets, only to be caught in a sudden wave that tossed him like a rag doll into the churning water. Struggling to surface, Raza cried out for help, his voice lost in the roar of the wind and the waves. When the storm finally subsided, leaving behind a trail of destruction and despair, Raza found himself on an unfamiliar shore, his boat shattered, his nets lost to the sea. But the realization of his loss was a blow that sent a chill through him. Where was Sami? Had the storm taken his son too? With this thought echoing in his mind, he began his search, traversing the shoreline, calling out for his son. Days turned into nights, hope into despair, and still Raza searched, driven by the primal instinct of a father's love. Then, on the 6th day, as the sun painted the sky in hues of farewell, Raza saw a light on a distant shore. With renewed determination, he surged forward, the faintest glimmer of hope flickering within him. As he drew closer, he saw a woman with a child in her arms. And in that moment, all the weary miles, the aching heart, and the hollow hope surged forth as he ran towards them, calling out, "Is it him? Is it my Sami?" The woman turned, her face etched with empathy and understanding. In her arms was a bundle wrapped in a blanket, and as she unwrapped it, a pair of hopeful eyes stared back at him. It was Sami. Overcome with emotion, Raza knelt beside them. The reunion was a symphony of tears, joy, and relief. The vast indifferency had tossed them about, but their bond, like the roots of an ancient tree, held firm. And as they stood there on that shore, Raza holding his son close, he knew that no storm, no matter how fierce, could ever wash away the depths of a father's love.